Hello and welcome back to Olotita, or Wholeness. I'm Krista Shirley, and today I look forward to spending a little more time with you exploring the concept of manifestation. But today, we're going to see it in action. I'm going to talk with you a little bit about the country of Turkey, which is the place that I am heading to very shortly. And I'll explain to you a little bit about why I'm making this trip and how I've used the process of manifestation to make it happen. I've always loved history and culture, anthropology, archaeology, classical studies. It's been something that really has been a source of true inspiration for me since I can remember. I vividly remember when my father passed away, I really poured myself more into my studies and into books. And it kind of felt like a little bit of an escape for me. And I remember when I first did my first elective Latin class, I began learning about ancient mythology and different cultures and all of these interesting stories. And then I began to see these connections or similarities between different stories in mythology versus stories in Christianity, for example. And it started to open a whole new world for me, a world that I continue to explore in various different ways every day. It's a passion that it put inside of my soul for a deeper understanding and a deeper level of knowing, not just about myself, but about the world around me and the peoples in different cultures and history behind different cultures, where we come from. What our ancestors have done, what we can learn from the past, how we can make a better today and a better tomorrow. And I do love learning. So the depth of history is just, magical. And I eventually went through AP studies of Latin in high school and went on to do a double major in classical studies, anthropology, and a minor in archaeology at Rollins College. And I was slated to move on to graduate school at Texas A&M to study nautical archaeology. And I did my senior thesis on a 10th century BC shipwreck off the coast of Uluru in southern Turkey, looking at trade relations between ancient cultures during that time period. And my focus really was on ancient Rome, ancient Greece, ancient Egypt, and tying in this sunken ship off the coast of southern Turkey with very raw materials. Well, not to bore those of you out there who are not interested about the details, but it's something that I've always loved. And even after my college, my 4-year degree, while things changed in my life with my mother's health and then my trajectory with studying yoga and the way my life has turned out, I never stopped wanting and learning more about history and culture and society. It sort of evolved a little bit more as I fell in love with yoga into a focus more in India and ancient cultures and traditions in India and then, around the world. And it has spread out more into a spiritual practice. But it always brings me back to history because everything always brings us back to history and what our ancestors did and where we come from or where these different practices or traditions come from. And even when we look into the future or we look up into the sky and space, it all ties back because every ancient culture around the world really did study astrology and astronomy in a different way than we do today. I don't want to get off into a tangent of so many different topics, which is easy for me to do. So we'll stay focused on trying to explain that this shipwreck that I did my senior thesis on back in 2004, I'll show my age a little bit. It was, as I look back all these years later, sort of the beginning for me. I had spent a semester abroad when I was a junior in college, and I will never forget how those experiences earlier in my life helped to shape who I am and helped instill inside of me a passion to follow my dreams. And while my dreams may be different than yours, I hope today really inspires you to remember your dreams. I believe in you. I want to help you remember or learn how to believe in yourself so that you can do anything you set your mind to. I'm very excited that I have the chance to visit a city and a museum and a ship that quite literally helped to steer my life path. And it all gets to come full circle in a very special and magical way for me very soon. So I will be taking a lot of time over those 2 weeks in Turkey, visiting some beautiful sites that I spent many years studying, visiting sites that I daydreamed about since I was a little girl, sites like ancient Troy. And I am very excited to get to spend this time just being a student. I put together a really rigorous trip for myself, and I want to share that a little bit with you and explain that it has not come easy, this trip, nor any trip I've ever taken. And I know many of my students and friends through the years, used to think that things came together so beautifully and easily. And while I wish I could say that were true, none of the retreats that I've put together in the past or any trips I've ever gotten the chance to take, and I've been blessed and grateful to take, have come easy. And so with great effort and difficulty, especially this particular trip, which is all the more reason it is so special to me. And I say that as a preface to say that please don't think I make this look easy just because I don't tell you every single detail of all of the difficulties, all of the hurdles, all of the challenges, which to some degree, now looking back, are hilarious, but we've put it together and it's going to happen, and I can't wait to bring it to you. So I have a few videos planned for my time away, and I hope to pop in occasionally, but I do plan to spend these 2 weeks really immersed in my studies. The first week in Turkey will be me quite literally traveling around the country, visiting some very specific archaeological monuments and museums, doing some very specific research and soaking it all in, and also planning for the 2022 yoga, meditation, adventure, archaeology, anthropology, cultural experience through Turkey. And I definitely am not ready to share much more than that with you guys regarding 2022, but I'm very excited, and I look forward to, once I get back from Turkey, really taking a few months to put together the most incredible trip for you guys that I can. I want to briefly give you an overview of some of the things that I'm going to experience during my first week of travel through Turkey, and let you know that I will be taking a lot of time when I get back to put together some wonderful and educational episodes for you guys on specific locations in Turkey that are really magical. I also am going to put in the description box below some links and some suggestions for you if you are already interested in getting to know a little bit more about the history of Turkey, which is just, it's beautiful. So I'll be starting my trip in northern Turkey in Istanbul, and I'll spend a day there extensively touring the city and experiencing some of their beautiful churches and their wonderful museums and archaeological exhibits, and making sure to take some good notes and some decent video for you guys as well, so I can bring back some wonderful education for you on that beautiful city. And of course, I won't forget to go to the Grand Bazaar. The second day, I've worked it out to where I'll start my day in Istanbul, and then I take a very long day trip to Kanakkale, which is where we believe the ancient site of Troy to be located. So once I get there, I will do a day-long tour of the museum, and then I'm going to hop in a rental car, and after a very long day of travel and education, I'm going to drive myself to Kusadasi. The very next morning, early at 7 a.m., I will be doing a private archaeological tour of the ancient city of Ephesus. The next day, after a nice yoga practice and hopefully a good meal, I will take a bus ride from Kusadasi, where my hotel will be, to Bodrum. And that is where I'll stay for the next 2 days to really explore the archaeological museum and the shipwreck from Oberun, as well as other shipwrecks. That it's a museum that's really, it's quite a sight to see, in a place that I very much look forward to going. And from there, I will travel to Dr. Dispenza's retreat. And I will then spend a full week doing 12 plus hour days of brain science and meditation. And I will be doing this for the 3rd time now with Dr. Dispenza. And every time is magical. Every time is such a wonderful opportunity for those of us on a spiritual path to disconnect from the world around you and really go very deep into your practices in a very safe space. And it is very important, the deeper you get into meditation, and if you're one of those people out there right now who's like, meditation, can't even sit still for 5 minutes. Just like learning yoga asana, the reason it's so hard for most people is because of the level of commitment it takes. And it's not a commitment to once a week. It's a commitment to, quite literally almost daily, because these are daily practices. I seriously consider these to be self-care hygienic rituals. And I consider hygiene to be very important in my life in any regard, whether it's physical hygiene of bathing daily or brushing my teeth daily, to self-care hygiene of doing my spiritual practices daily, which is literally washing the insides. And so as a member of society, I feel it's my duty to self and others to make sure that I am making time for these things. And that is the way I see it. And I know that there's a lot of people out there that struggle with making time. If you're struggling to find the time to do other things, just keep watching the channel, because I promise you, not every tool will work for you, but some will. And I hope to create enough space for you of inspiration that you use those creative juices inside your own soul to find those tools and those practices that resonate for you and that feel authentic to you and original and creative to you, meaning that they can become sustainable to you. Because everything about meditation or yoga or washing your face or brushing your teeth, it is to be done daily and repeated. And we have to have the motivation and the inspiration to create the repetition. So I find a lot of inspiration in my spiritual practices, right? So I also love travel. I love learning. So I take those things that I'm passionate about and I really crave, and I find ways to bring them together. And I would love for you to take from today's video an opportunity that you can try to start to navigate through your own life, those types of things that you want to do more of or spend more of your time with. It is a great amount of energy and time and effort to even just contemplate, how would you tackle all of these hundreds of details? If your dream is yours and my dream is mine, pick your details, right? How do I pick all of those details out, and how do I start moving forward with this? And a lot of people tend to kind of begin to question their dreams from that stage alone. And then if they get past that, then, there's self-doubt and fear and so many good reasons to stop pursuing your dreams. And I want you to hear me in your head every moment of every day that you want to give up on anything that you believe in, that you're passionate in. Hear me in your head every day. Do not give up on your dreams. Do not give up on yourself. And remember that if you're in a positive alignment in your mind and in your heart, meaning heart and mind coherence, or brain and heart coherence, the best that is meant for you will always happen. First of all, I hope you'll stay in touch with me and keep up with my travels. And I definitely hope to be able to post some more while I'm away. But you'll see a lot more about the beautiful country of Turkey when I return. And also all the things that I've learned in the process. And I encourage you to spend a little time today journaling. So I'd love to leave you with a few tools for your toolbox, and your little guidance, little inspiration on how to maybe put some of your ideas out into the universe. And the first of those is to journal your thoughts. And when I say your thoughts, I mean your dreams. For me, when I heard Dr. Dispenza announce the retreat, I wrote it in my journal. And then I went home, or I should say back to the hotel room that night, and I did journal about it, how I wanted to go, why I wanted to go, how I didn't know how I was going to make it happen, but I looked forward to it, and I was feeling the feelings of gratitude for having gone. I remember waking up the very next morning with the flash of inspiration of not only are you going, but you're going to finally go to see Oberun's shipwreck. And this is many years in the making. When you really know something is right, you know, I have to follow through with this. I have to make this happen. So go write down some of your dreams, put them to paper so you can start to make a plan. And my particular process when I'm starting any new manifestation project is to get clear on what I want. And that can be really hard for some people. So that's why putting things down on paper is very helpful. Get your thoughts out there, and then you can see what you're looking at. Do I need to make this more clear? Do I need to add more details? And from that place, you give yourself a little space and time to contemplate. First step for me was obviously making sure that I got registered for Dr. Dispenza's retreat, which sells out within 30 minutes to an hour. And once I registered and I got completely registered for the retreat, I knew that part was happening. I could build my trip from there. And by build my trip, I started to do research, and I added my son in this process, asking him where he wanted to go. I already knew where I wanted to go, and I'm definitely not going everywhere I want to go in Turkey. So this will not be the last. It'll be the first of many different types of trips through Turkey. What was the route? I knew he wanted to go to Istanbul. That was his most exciting spot. And I needed to end in South Turkey. I knew I wanted to see a few things this trip. Absolutely, regardless. Troy and ancient Ephesus were top of the list, as well as, of course, the shipwreck at Oberun. So I already had my 3 must-haves. And then just day by day, putting down more thoughts to paper or the computer or your iPhone or your whatever you have, however you do it. And slowly working on a list, and then working on that to-do list, and then building upon that list and checking things off of that list, and working on your accountability for staying on top of these things, because manifestation doesn't come to us. It's not given to us by absolutely anybody. And we have to work very hard for it. So there are many tools and many steps in this process. And the very first of which is, number 1, to believe that you deserve the things that you desire, because you do. You absolutely do. Number 2, to figure out how to get to a place of worthiness, if that's one of your hurdles. And then getting yourself organized. And I really hope that whatever goals and dreams are in your heart and your soul, you never give up on them. My sister Kamla reminded me when I was in the depths of my medical nightmare a few years ago. I'm going to say it was December of 2019. She reminded me this thing that's so important. It's never too late. I don't care how old you are. I don't care how broken you are. I don't care how tall you are. I don't care who you are or where you are. Believe in yourself. Believe in your goals and your dreams. And then start to take actionable steps toward achieving them. There are so many things that can interfere between your mind and your heart and your soul. Internal and external factors. People and things, circumstances. But where there is a will, there's a way. It's called the magic of belief. Some people call it miracles or the impossible. But we here at Olotita, we very much believe in the impossible. We very much believe in magic and miracles. And I love sharing all of these with you. And I love you sharing with me. Thank you so much for all the emails I receive. As you feel comfortable, please share in the comments below. What are you trying to manifest? If you like the content, please click that like button. Please subscribe if you enjoy the weekly videos that I provide. If you find them helpful and you know of anyone who might benefit, please do share. And every comment, even little thumbs up or frog emojis, it helps to let me know that you do enjoy the content I'm creating, and it helps to let YouTube know as well. I wish you a beautiful and joyous day ahead. Namaste.